3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to this week's mailbag. I'm Doug Kyde. If you have any questions for me, tweet it to me at Doug Kyde using the hashtag MailDoug, and I will try to answer it. First question here comes from Glenn, who asks, Doug, Dontrelle Inman seems like a good addition, given they have a lot of inexperienced wide receiver and uncertainty of Demaryius Thomas and Josh Gordon. Do you think there is still a need to trade for a more established number 2 wide receiver? I don't think it's necessary to do that, but I think that if the opportunity presented itself for the Patriots to get another starting caliber wide receiver via trade, I don't think they would hesitate to make that move. I do think they can get by with their current group of wide receivers. That would be Julian Edelman, N'Keal Harry, Demaryius Thomas, Josh Gordon, Dontrelle Inman, Philip Dorsett, some other lower tier players in that list. It's not an ideal situation. It's kind of similar to the situation the Patriots had last year with wide receivers when everyone got hurt and then the Patriots had to scramble to trade for Josh Gordon during the season. Basically, the Patriots just have to hope that these guys don't get hurt this offseason, because I think that you can go into the season with your wide receivers being Julian Edelman, Dontrelle Inman, N'Keal Harry, Philip Dorsett, and maybe one other guy, and then hope that Demaryius Thomas can come back from the torn Achilles, maybe hope that Josh Gordon can come back from his suspension. But those 4 players I mentioned earlier, good enough to get by. I think they could still possibly improve that group, but it's not needed. Second question here, another one on the wide receivers, is from Eric, who asks, who's going to have more catches for the Patriots this season, Gronk, Gordon, or Thomas? This is a very interesting question because Rob Gronkowski is retired, although there have been rumors that he could come back during the season. Like I mentioned, Gordon is suspended, and Thomas is dealing with that torn Achilles. So there's really no guarantee among those 3 players. I would still probably say Demaryius Thomas, just because he's the most guaranteed to play during the 2019 season. That doesn't mean that he will play during the 2019 season. Maybe that Achilles never gets right. Maybe the Patriots decide to cut him because he doesn't look like the same type of player. But he's just more guaranteed for some snaps over Gronk, who might not come off of his retirement, and Gordon, who might never be reinstated by the NFL this season. The last question here comes from Short Dolphin, who asks, you have a veteran who is a free agent at the end of the year who might be traded at the trade deadline pick. Mine is Jonathan Jones. I think mine would probably be Jones as well. I think that Jones even could possibly be traded during training camp, just with the way that his contract is structured. There's no guaranteed money there. It's a 1-year deal, not a whole lot of money. So if there's another team that needs a cornerback, and if the Patriots stay healthy at cornerback during training camp, it's possible they could ship off Jonathan Jones, since they did draft Juwan Williams. Since last year they drafted Duke Dawson. They already have Stephon Gilmore, Jason McCourty, J.C. Jackson, Keon Crossan. They've got a lot of talent there. So if there's one position the Patriots could afford to trade a player, it would be cornerback, and I think that Jonathan Jones would be the most obvious candidate.